To be honest, I think there's one name or there's one institution in Ghana that has been on everybody's lips of late, recently, nowadays, and that is EOCO. You understand? There's a lot of question. Where did they come from? Why have they become so prominent? Why do they have so much power? You get me? So if you look at the case involving Shatawale, they just went to his house, seized his Lamborghini. You understand? Told him to come to the station. They arrested him. You understand? It's like they have so much power, they have so much authority. But the question that I was always wondering is like, where did they come from? Why are we hearing of them suddenly? And that is what we are come to talk about today. My name is Franklin. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like and share on our videos so that anytime there's a new video, you'll be the first to get informed. Now, to understand Yoko, you have to go back way back to 1993. You understand? In 1993, um, there was a division was formed which was called the Serious Fraud Office, and as the name suggests, or as the name sounds very self-explanatory, they were formed to handle fraud cases, cooking the books, you understand, changing figures, you understand. Those were the kind of criminal activities that were happening back in the day, and that was how the Serious Fraud Office was called, or in short, SFO. That's how they were called back then in the 1993s. So that was what they were formed to do way back in the 1993s. They were called to handle the stuff that the police could not handle. You get me? But by 2000s, things has changed. Crime had evolved, you understand? And the SFO's powers were not enough to tackle the kind of new strategies that these criminals were using. You get me? So in 2010, the parliament passed the EOCO Act 804. And this wasn't just a name change, it was a power up. Like the powers that they were given, they're not be small. So suddenly their mandate exploded. They could now investigate any serious financial or economic loss to the republic. You understand? Including money laundering, human trafficking, tax fraud, and prohibited cyber activity. More importantly, the Act 804 give them teeth, Hyoko now can investigate anyone, freeze suspicious bank accounts, seize assets. We are talking about cars, houses, everything. They had the power to seize it. You understand? So it wasn't small power that was passed on to them. And even they could even prosecute offenders on behalf of the Attorney General. That could tell you the power that they have. They became the institution you call when the money trail gets cold and it's like people are trying to get away with it. Yeah, the people that you call and they dig into things, they investigate things, and then they get things done. That is the power that Yoko has. You understand? Now, the question that people are asking, I myself included, is where have they been all this while? Like, if I'm not trying to be political per se, but if not for this new NDC administration, I don't think a lot of people have heard of EOCO before. Now, EOCO actually means the Economic and Organized Crime Office. Economic and Organized Crime Office. That's what EOCO actually means in full. And the question is, why have they been? Why have they popped up now? Where have they been all this while? Yoko hasn't suddenly popped up. They have been consistently active since their creation. However, their publicity and visibility is directly tied to the major headline grabbing financial scandals of the day, which happens under every administration. You understand? So people are trying to get away with things, and by that, Yoko actually has to come out. Understand? These are things that the police can't handle, and these are the power that Yoko has. Now, somebody might also ask, where were they during the NPP reign before Mahama? Now, the key point of clarification is that during the John Ajekun Kufuor-led NPP, that is from 2001 to 2009, Yoko did not exist. As I said earlier on, Yoko was formed in 2010. So in 2000, from 2001 to 2009, I think a lot of people got away with a lot of criminal activities, if you ask me, or did they? Like, well, let's find out now. The agency at that time was its predecessor. I mean, 2001 to 2009. The agency at that time was the SFO, and SFO had a narrower mandate and fewer powers. While it handled fraud cases, it didn't have broad, aggressive mandate to tackle organized crime, money laundering, and asset recovery the way EOCO does. So from 2001 to 2009, SFO didn't have the power to do what EOCO are doing now. You understand? EOCO was established by an Act of Parliament in 2010 under the National Democratic Congress (NDC) administration of the late President John Evans Atta Mills. Right. So why have they been popular now? Now, the thing is, EOCO has actually been working. It's not that they haven't been working since they were formed. They've actually been working. You understand? But they work in such a way that they don't just come out and arrest people and seize people's assets. To do that, you have to have solid proof. Understand? So they do a lot of investigations. They do a lot of diggings. They take their time to go through things before they come out and do what they do. Understand? So they've actually been working, and they've actually been working in a lot of cases that's they've brought out into the limelight that a lot of people don't know about, or a lot of people didn't know that they were actually associated with EOCO, but they've actually been working. Now, some of those cases are the GYEEDA scandal, the SADA scandal, the Alfred Woyome judgment death, and a whole lot. You understand? The Menzgold investigation, Cecelia Dapaah stolen money case, Aisha Huang, the Galamsey Queen, COVID-19 procurement investigations, and a few notable ones. All these things were handled by EOCO. You understand? Now people are actually more tuned to social media. You understand? There are a lot of people on Twitter. You understand? And a lot of news. If you want to hear news first, the first place to actually go is Twitter. And that is how they've become so, personally, I feel that is how they become so prominent. They can't just do things under GM anymore, because nowadays anything that you do comes out in the spotlight. And especially this Shatawale case that's happened is where you say that, Charlie, these people have a lot of power. They just seize his car, his Lamborghini, you understand? And they had solid proof. They had investigated him a long time, you understand? So EOCO has actually a lot of power. They've been given a lot of power, and it doesn't give room for this fraudsters and people who are actually doing illegal stuff to hide, because they will actually expose them. And they actually do a lot of digging. As I said earlier on, they take their time, do a lot of digging, get their facts right, get their facts straight, get everything in order before they actually jump and say that, yes, we are seizing your assets, we are doing this, we are doing that. You understand? So EOCO has actually been there for a very, very long time. They were formed in 2010 and they've been working since, but they've come to the limelight now because the environment allows them to, you understand? And now a lot of people know about them. So that is the information that I have about EOCO. You understand? It's a very serious thing, and I actually think that they are actually doing a very good job. You understand? And this is where we'll end today's episode of TX News. I hope that you were informed. My name is Franklin, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification icon. Don't forget to share so that people might actually see our contents. And anytime we upload a new video, you'll be the first people to see the videos. Thank you, and I'll see you on another episode.